Hi BookTube! My name is Sarah and welcome to the Bookish Knitter. Today I am coming to you with a daily reading update. Today is the 30th of December. Happy Saturday, everybody. Happy second last day of the year. So I've taken a few days off on doing any recording and stuff like that, which I'm actually it was nice to have a little break, if you will, a little holiday break. But I did really miss talking to you guys. I wasn't originally going to come back and do these until January the 1st, but I'm like, I want to talk to you guys now. And I am, of course, doing a live show today as well, or I'm going to post this after that. So you will have already seen that I did a live show talking about my 2024 goals and plans for both my reading and for the channel. So yeah, it's weird, again, talking in the past. I'm looking forward to that, but it will have already been posted. You guys will have already either watched it live or had the chance to watch it afterward. So a couple reasons why I wanted to sit down and talk to you today. I haven't talked to you in a few days and I miss talking to you guys, but I finally settled on a book. I was still waffling from book to book. I'm like, I just want to pick up something. I don't know what I want to pick up. And then finally I decided on something because an idea popped into my head yesterday and I'm like, let's give this a try. And I am really enjoying this book. So I thought I would come on here and share with you guys what I am reading, but also what I've decided to do next year in 2024 is because I'm actually going to have a TBR again. I'm doing monthly TBRs. That video is going to go up tomorrow. So you guys are going to see my monthly TBR tomorrow, but you're going to get a sneak peek of it today because what I've decided to do is I use the spinning wheel to pick, and I'm going to be spinning the wheel for my next book. So I'm actually going to be spinning the wheel for my first books in January. So I thought I would do that in this clip as well. So in these daily reading updates, if I'm close to finishing a book and potentially could finish the book the next day, I will spin the wheel with you guys and then pick my next book essentially. So you guys will get to see that. Like, I just think it'll be fun, right? So anyway, probably will not be a terribly long video, but first let me share with you guys what I finally decided to read. So, you know, ways of getting out of reading slumps. Everybody has a different opinion. You know, read something different, just take a break, you know, yada, yada. And I did. I did really take a break for a few days. I was reading a couple pages here and there of certain things, but I really wasn't engaging in anything. And then other people are like, read something that you wouldn't normally read. So the thing is, though, is I tend to read a little bit of everything. So I'm like, should I pick up a nonfiction? Nothing was grabbing my attention. And then I remember that there was a lot of other people have mentioned the fact that to read in a different format than you would normally read. And I have been reading so many ebooks lately, like all ebooks, which I love. I love my e-readers. You guys know this. Pry my Kindles in my cold dead hands, as I like to say. But I don't read a lot physically, which is funny because I'm staring at my January TBR, which is beside me here because I'm going to shoot that video next. And it's basically all print books. But I thought, let's go with a print book for something different. So I went to my Harlequin shelves and I literally did this, like closed my eyes and just pointed at something. And I grabbed the book off the shelf and guys, this is so good. So the universe wanted me to read this one is the way that I look at it. So I am currently reading The Proposition by Kate Bridges. So this is a Harlequin historical novel. It is a Western. They do not make the Western novels anymore because they're not as popular with people overseas, like in the UK and stuff like that, like the Mills and Boon historicals, because they're published the same. Every month, the Mills and Boon are the same as the Harlequins, just a slightly different cover, I think. But they're not. The Westerns were not as popular in the UK and overseas for obvious reasons. That the West, the Wild West, was kind of like a North American thing, and this is one that actually takes place in Canada. So this is, I'm so excited. It's so good, you guys. So this starts off in, let me make sure I get the year right, Alberta, July 1892. So Calgary, Alberta. And it's about our main character, Jessica, who found herself in the family way. Let's put it that way. And her father, who was the mayor of town, I'm pretty sure it said Calgary, which is like one of the big cities now in Alberta. And he sends her away to a finishing school in Montreal to have the baby. So she goes, and then of course, you know, she's really excited about, it's actually a home for unwed mothers. So she's very excited about, you know, eventually having her baby and then, you know, getting the help to raise the child and things like that. So she has her son, and then he is taken from her and disappears. And to her understanding, he was adopted out by another family. Now, she never gave her consent for this. She never gave anything like that. So she's now back home in Calgary, or in Alberta, and she has heard that the doctor is somewhere near the Alberta-British Columbia border, and this Mountie, Canadian, well, it's not a Canadian, that back then they were the Northwest Mounted Police, I think. Anyway, doesn't matter. Hi friends, this is Editing Sarah jumping in, and I wanted to jump in with a bit of some facts about the RCMP, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, because in the video, as I'm rewatching it, as I'm editing, I wasn't absolutely sure. So, the book takes place in 1892. Canada was a country. It became a country in 1867. And the Northwest Mounted Police was a Canadian police force established in 1873 to maintain order in the new Canadian Northwest Territories following the 1870 transfer of Rupert's Land and the Northwestern Territory to Canada from the Hudson's Bay Company to the Red River Rebellion, and in response to lawlessness demonstrated by the Cypress Hill massacres. Sounds intriguing. And fears of U.S. military intervention. Shocking. So the RCM, or the Northwest Mounted Police, was formed, like I said, in May 23rd, 1873, and it was dissolved in 1920, and it was superseded by the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, which is what we have now. So yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was kind of interesting. I Wikipedia'd that just for funsies because I wasn't absolutely certain. So if anyone's curious, there's some historical Canadian facts for you. That this, the very iconic red jacket Mountie is going to be traveling that same way to deliver some horses. And he doesn't really like her. His wife, who passed away a year ago, his wife really didn't like her. They didn't get on very well. Now, Jessica has changed quite a bit from the spoiled girl that she was before she found herself in the family way, and going to Montreal until now. She's changed quite a bit. And, the girl that she was then, that spoiled little rich girl, is not the same girl she is now. So anyway, but he still has this kind of animosity towards her, and that she bullies her way into things. She asked him to help her, and he's like, no, I'm not. No, I'm sorry. And he's got his own reasonings why he wanted to be alone to deliver these horses. And it had to do with his deceased wife. So anyway, there's a lot of drama going on this, guys. And I am only that far into it at this point. So then she kind of goes above his head, and she is now on this journey with him, and they've just started the journey, and she has brought a chaperone, and it's the family butler, whose name is Mr. Merriweather, and he is delightful. He is from England. Very high crust British society butler for that kind of a family, came to North America, or came to Canada, and completely adopted this Western lifestyle. He loves his boots and his hats, and he even though he's got this British accent, he still uses what do you call it? Phrasing, I love him. He's delight. But, anyway, so that's the basis of this book. And guys, I am really enjoying it. So I have a couple more days. I have today and tomorrow. I will finish it. This has been a really easy read. I am really enjoying it, and I'm so glad that I decided to pick it up. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous cover. But Kate Bridges' books are no longer available. Okay, I'm missaying that. Her books, you can no longer buy this book in this format, or you can buy it in this format if you go on Thrift Books, but you cannot buy it like this as an ebook. If you want to buy this book as an ebook, it actually has a different cover and title, because Kate Bridges got her rights back to her books from Harlequin, which is what happens. Harlequin owns the rights to them, and then at some point, when the author stops publishing for them, Harlequin or Mills and Boon, they get the publishing rights back. So the books go back to them and become their property again, and they can do what they want with them. And she has republished them with new titles and new covers. Obviously new covers because they're no longer Harlequin, right? So anyway, the new title is Guarding Jessica, and this is the cover in case you guys are looking for it on Amazon. The exact same story. I'm not a fan of this cover at all. I'm sorry. I do like the scenery with the horses and the mountains and the back and stuff like that. But the way he's dressed, he's not a Mountie. This is the 5th book in the Mountie something series. I can't remember exactly what it's called. What's the series called? Mountie Brides is what the series is called. and he looks like a highwayman. Do you know what I mean? And she looks like with that very fancy dress and those fancy gloves, like, yeah, she's supposed to be like a spoiled rich girl. But nowhere, even at the beginning of the book, does it mention that she's dressing that way. She's dressing very much Little House on the Prairie is what it sounds like to me. And I have to say, I'm sorry, I love this cover so much. And did I show you guys? There's a step back. The inside has a step back. Isn't that gorgeous? But these are Harlequin historicals. So it does say on the back, Harlequin historicals. So I just think this is stunning, and I really, my personal opinion, if you're going to read this, get it used if you can. Get a used cover. Unless you like this cover. If you like this cover, great. But if not, the other thing is too, this is $7 for the ebook. Completely worth it. The story is fantastic, don't get me wrong. But you can probably pick this one up for a lot cheaper on Thrift Books. Just saying. Support the author, though. You know what I mean? Like, so this is, like I said, the 5th book in a series, but all of them can be read as standalones. From my friends who will only read series in order. The author herself has even stated you can read them as standalones. So yeah, thoroughly enjoying that. I will pop back on tomorrow with another reading update to let you guys know how I'm getting on with that book, or if I finished it yet. So let's go to spinning the wheel. So there is going to be 2 spins I'm going to do. One is going to be for a physical book, my first physical book or physical book / ebook of the month of January. And the other one's going to be for an audiobook. I will talk about all of this tomorrow. I'm going to film it next, but I will talk about all of this tomorrow in my January TBR. So stay tuned for that. But like I said, this is just a sneak peek to see what books I'm starting my year off with. And I'm very excited. I feel like this is going to set the tone for the year. You know what I mean? So let's go ahead and spin the wheel. Let me turn this up. Cover this so you can't see all the books. The Last to Vanish. Okay, Megan Miranda. We are starting with a thriller, my friends. Let me just grab it here out of the major pile of books. The Last to Vanish by Megan Miranda. So I'm starting off with this one. I bought this copy used at the thrift store, and it literally came out this summer. New York Times bestselling author of All the Missing Girls, Megan Miranda returns with a gripping and is that even a word? Propuslive. I'm sure if I heard it said out loud. Thriller about a string of vanishings in a mountain resort town. That's all I'm going to read. I know this author is hit or miss for a lot of people. I get that. And I've heard that a lot, but I am a fan. The books that I've read All the Missing Girls, and I really liked it. So I am very much looking forward to this one. And again, I bought it at a thrift store, practically brand new. I think I paid like $2.99 for it or something like that. So yeah, very excited to get into this one. So yeah, I'm starting the year off with a thriller, which is very exciting. So let's now see what my first audiobook of the year is going to be. So let's go ahead and spin. I'm actually going to hold it this way just so you guys can't see the titles. And we are starting out with a book. Oh, yay, Rayanne Thane. Summer at Lake Haven. So Summer at Lake Haven, I think, is the 11th book in the Haven Point series. I know, again, for those of you who are read in series order people, you're cringing at the fact I'm jumping into book 11. But again, like most romance novels, this can be read as a standalone. So we're doing a thriller and a very sweet, not sweet. Well, Rayanne Thane does tend to write on the sweeter side. She doesn't have a lot of adult content, but a sweeter book. Contemporary romance novel. So a little bit of everything, which is going to be fantastic. So yeah, so those are the books I'm starting off January with. But like I said, I will pop back in tomorrow and do another reading update. And I will also tomorrow you're going to see my January TBR. So stay tuned for that. Take care and happy reading, everybody. Bye.